Excellent, David. Excellent. That's a good one to start it off. Lance is an uncommon name nowadays, but in medieval times, people were named Lance a lot. Yep. That is a good one. I like that one. I like it. I like it a lot. A good Wednesday night. Bill Taylor here. Ken's 5 Digital Center. Blessings to you. Blessings to your family, to your loved ones, to everyone on this September 11th as we remember one of the most tragic days in United States history. Why I'm dressed tonight the way I'm dressed. I was honored to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for Veterans Memorial Homecoming Pep Rally. So they had it out at their school, which is a relatively new school, maybe 8 years old. And they're the Veterans Memorial Patriots. So on this Patriots Day, we had a really beautiful moment of silence where everyone just took a moment and remembered those we lost that day and also those that were left behind. I mean, so many loved ones, so many families that are still grieving beyond belief. So God bless them all on this day. I remember I was talking to Easties about it earlier. You know, I was in the studio when it happened. I was doing the morning show back in 2001, and we were actually cutting little update promos, coming up next, coming up today, you know, just recording those when it occurred. And, you know, the remainder of that day, and even September 12th, 13th, you know, just so many things changed. And I'm from the area, so, I mean, seeing the Twin Towers is for those of you who grew up in San Antonio, like seeing the Tower of the Americas, honestly. I mean, I always saw the Twin Towers. I grew up 15 miles west of Manhattan. And when I went to Giant Stadium, you know, I knew when we came around on Route 3, we would see the skyline and we'd see the Twin Towers right before getting to Giant Stadium for the games. My father had season tickets when I was growing up, back when they were affordable. You know, one of the things that I asked him, you know, because of course being here, the impact was unbelievable. But I said to my father, what is it like there? He works in the city at the time. He worked in New York City. And he said, well, the difference is that you either know somebody or you're one person away. And I was like, wow. Because he knew people, you know, that lost their lives that day. That just went to work on a Tuesday morning. That's all they did. I've got a neighbor who was supposed to go to work. He worked in the Twin Towers, and his wife asked to call. She was out of the country that morning. She said, why don't you go in a little bit later so we can talk, because of hour difference, time change difference between where she was in New York City. It was more convenient for her to talk in the morning. So he said, okay, yeah, why don't we do that tomorrow then? Or else he wouldn't be with us. I know there's a lot of those stories. One of the best stories I saw this year, I always try to see something different, came from 60 Minutes on Sunday night. Scott Pelley did a piece about the rebuilding of the New York City Fire Department. Phenomenal piece. Phenomenal piece. You should really watch it. All right, you're looking at Francine's Landfall. It was, let's see exactly what time it was. How about that? So, by the way, official landfall is when the center of the storm is on land, not the leading edge of the eye wall. That's kind of like I like to call it when the landfall is beginning. So, like, for instance, at this moment here, I have to back it up a little bit more. Let's go to 6 hours. This moment here, you can see the northern eye wall inland, just about, you know, moving across some barrier islands there of South Louisiana. But it's really not until this moment right here. There's where the center of the circulation is on land, 5:41 p.m. Southwest of New Orleans, just east of Morgan City, I believe. I don't know what parish that is in southeast Louisiana, but you can see the amount of rainfall, the amount of water that was being pushed up into South Louisiana. Here's the thing. that whole state, I mean, that whole coastline is marsh, is at or below sea level. The city of New Orleans is 9 feet below sea level. 9 feet. I mean, that's practically this ceiling I'm looking at. It's incredible. It's a big bowl. And it's got to be one of the fewest coastal states where there's really no beach. I mean, they call it the Cajun Riviera. Holly Beach is in southwest Louisiana, south of Lake Charles in Cameron Parish. And that's about the only one, and it's not pretty. I mean, you don't go there. I mean, really, some people do, I guess, but it's not worth a beach trip. You know, the rest there is no beach. The rest is all marsh. If you've ever crossed over the Atchafalaya Basin, it's the most expensive stretch of Interstate 10. And remember, Interstate 10 goes from Georgia to California, and the most expensive stretch, I forget how many miles it is the Atchafalaya Basin Bridge, because it's a huge, long, I forget how many miles, and it's, you know, over the marsh. All right, so goes inland as a Cat 2. She's strengthened right before landfall, which is usually not the case. You know, typically a storm will drop in intensity, weaken at landfall because of the shallow water at the coast. So you look at it as with that shallow water, you're hitting that sea bottom a lot quicker. I mean, it kind of goes up like this as you're going closer to shore. It's almost as if the hurricane is pulling up in a driveway. And so as it's hitting that and encountering that friction, it usually weakens the storm. But Francine hit a pocket of warm enough water. Pressure dropped. It was down as low as 972, I remember, this afternoon. Now it's back up to 980. As it moves inland, it's still a Category 1 with winds of 75 miles per hour tonight. And now it'll take more of a northerly trek. It looks as though it stays across Mississippi and goes across western Tennessee, because the steering current that moved it east was a trough of low pressure, an elongated area of low pressure over Texas that pushed to the coast and kind of steered it northeast. Now that trough is gone, so she'll turn a little bit west and go pretty much due north moving forward. Matthew, been to Louisiana a few times, never realized there's no, yeah, I'm serious. I mean, like I said, southwest is about the closest they get to a beach. And but it dramatically improves when you go east. Once you get to Alabama, I mean, it's beautiful beaches. Orange Beach is really nice near Mobile, Pensacola. Then it just gets better. Destin, Sandestin, gorgeous beaches east of the Mississippi. That's the difference. Terrebonne Parish, thank you, Pam. Crystal Beach near Beaumont's been eroded. Yeah, that's the other part, right? There's been so many storms over the course of hundreds of years that a lot of erosion. Good point, Lise. Yes, Matthew, that's the change. Humidity is coming back. We got the last weekend of summer, and it's going to feel like it. Lance is an I was about to read that one again, David. Ibana, how are you? Didn't get no rain near the coast. Yeah, it pulled out east. I mean, we didn't see rain even in Houston. You know, if Houston doesn't get, I mean, Houston gets rain every day regardless, doesn't it? I'm asking Luke Whitney, our Houstonian. Isn't it crazy, Luke, that we had a storm in the Gulf? Houston didn't get much rain at all.
No, that's wild.
I mean, a few showers, but...
I fully expected to get something.
Yeah, right? Good evening, Autumn. Your season's coming up next week. There we go. Let me see the official. It's typically the 22nd. It is September 22nd, 8:44 a.m. Autumn. So you should have like a fun little brunch. Yeah, why don't you? I'm telling you to do that right now. I really want you to do that, Autumn Parkinson. Autumn Parkinson is going to have a brunch on Sunday the 22nd, and you're all invited. Luke, we've got Autumn here, and since the first day of autumn is September 22nd, she's having a brunch, and you're invited.
Okay.
We're all going. David's going to be there. telling some good jokes.
We'll bring the tangerine.
The
Tambourine.
tambourine. We can bring tangerines too if you'd like. I mean, I'm not against it.
I'll go by.
I enjoy them. Swing by.
Okay.
Pull up.
Say less.
So, Autumn, I'm really glad this is coming together. We got Luke on board and can bring the gang. And we've got everybody here. Okay. It is your favorite, right? I do love. You know what? When they asked me, they did like this promo about all different random questions, and they didn't tell me beforehand. They just started rolling the camera. We're out by there's a nearby park and real beautiful backdrop. And they're like, we're just going to ask you questions. Just give us your natural answers. And so I said, okay. Favorite season? And I'm like, football. And I know that, they're asking the weatherman. They were looking for winter, spring, summer, or fall. But I'm like, football. I mean, that's my favorite season for sure. But yeah, autumnal equinox, the 22nd. No, Jamie, no San Antonio rain, I'm afraid. We've got some slight chances moving forward as the humidity starts to increase. So let me show you what's going to happen. In fact, it's as early as tomorrow, we start getting a wind shift. It'll be a little bit more east-northeast for a good part of tomorrow. So tomorrow should feel okay. But then look at that. There it is. South to southeast. And here comes the Gulf Fetch. So here comes the humidity. You've got dew points going from 60s to 70s real quick. And that'll be over the weekend. The final weekend of summer is going to feel every bit like summer. Highs are climbing at the same time because, let me show you this. The drier air, remember, heats a lot more than wet air. And with the storm pulling out to the east, now we're on that sinking air side. And so you see, look at how much dry air there is. That is insane. Across the state of Texas on water vapor, that is bone-dry desert air from top to bottom mixing down to the surface. So that sinking air motion plus how dry it is, here we go. There will be 100s on the map Friday. It won't be tomorrow, but Friday afternoon is going to be a hot one. And that should be the final hot day. As far as hottest of, I say the final hot day, no. It'll still be 96, maybe, in the coming days I'll show you. But the hottest of this little heat wave, it is a heat wave because 91 is the average high. We will be 5 degrees above that. If we're 5 for 5, it's technically a heat wave. So it'll be a mini heat wave. And then high pressure's in control, showing you the upper air chart where there's really no change. There was a Pacific system that could have thrown a shower or two our way, but we're only down to about a 10% chance of that happening. So the 7-day rain forecast is pretty bleak, pretty bleak. 3 kinds of people, those who can count and those who can't. Clear skies for the partial lunar eclipse. I hope so. Yeah, coming up Tuesday the 17th. In fact, mark the calendar, 4, 5, and 6 p.m. newscasts on that Tuesday the 17th. I'm going to be live at the new Micronaut experience at San Antonio College. I don't know if you've ever been out to the planetarium. San Antonio College and the Scobie Planetarium. Francis Scobie was a NASA astronaut and from San Antonio, went to SAC. So named in his honor. And we've got the beautiful planetarium, but then there's also the Challenger Learning Center. I don't know if you know, but you remember, of course, the Challenger disaster back in the mid-'80s. Well, that was a teaching mission. They had a teacher on board. And in memory of those we lost, the families asked that we do learning centers in their memory all across the country. And so one of them is here at San Antonio College, the Challenger Learning Center. I would say like middle school, high school, but adults for sure. Little ones it might be a little over their head because there's like stations and a lot of interaction. So that's why they decided on this Micronaut experience and it is brand new, beautiful, and there's all these interactive experiences for the kinder, first and second graders. Even third, fourth will get a big kick out of this. You go in and you're fitted for the suit and it's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah, look at that. Talk about rain-free. We're not expecting a drop in the next 7 days. You got to travel down I-37 about a county and a half to even get to 1/10 of an inch of rain. Love you, Gabriella. Good to see you. Hello, Maria. I just talked to a girl named Maria. Thank you for the weather. You're welcome. Yeah, it's going to be hot. Friday, it's going to be hot. Beautiful Little flight into downtown San Antonio on our Wednesday night weather. So there it is, 96 tomorrow, but 98 Friday, 96 to 97 Saturday, Sunday both. And then Sunday, Monday, there it is, 10% chance of an isolated shower, 20% chance for that first day of autumn, for autumn's big birthday bash. Monday, Tuesday, 20% chance of isolated rain. But, you know, that's the best it gets, and those are going to be adjustable. And I want to point out, by the way, you know, most everyone else does an extended forecast. They give you one weekend. That's nice, right? But see, here at Ken's 5, we love you, and we know you're special, and we love you enough to give you 2 weekends. That's the love behind the 14-day forecast. Do you know that, Luke?
Sorry?
Since we love our viewers, we have the best viewers and followers on our social platforms.
100%.
That's why we give them 2 weekends on the extended forecast.
Yeah.
Right? They deserve it.
More than, I don't know.
Okay. I thought something good was coming there.
You deserve it.
They do deserve every bit of 2.
Because they are San Antonio zone as well.
That's right. We're talking to San Antonio zone. Good point, Luke. Thank you. You kind of saved yourself there. Peanut Diamond. Would love the rain, but glad it will be dry for the big give. Oh, when's the big give? Thank you for bringing that up. I love the big give. When is that, brother? Or sister? I don't know what Peanut Diamond means, but Jenny and I went to high school together. Wait a minute. Are we getting a reunion here? Jenny who? What are you talking about, Lise? I got to find this. Jenny. Jenny and I, we were like peas and carrots. I love Forrest Gump. Where's Jenny? Jenny and I went to high. Oh, there's Javi. That silver back hair is looking legit. Like fine wine. Quick question. What can we expect weather to be like this fall and winter? Hard to say. I'll be honest with you. Now, I did see, and thank you, by the way, Farmer's Almanac says average winter. Dry, mild, nothing special is what the Almanac is saying. Again, it's all based on trends, and we can say it's going to be a cold winter. I mean, honestly, I just don't put stock in long range. We look at them, it's there, but it's so changeable, if you will. Remember, I always put it this way. There is no more of a fluid situation than the atmosphere and the weather, because it literally is fluids and gases. And so because of that, it's ever so changing. And so even if we give you long range, that's why at first I kind of objected to the 14-day, to be honest with you. Full disclosure, I didn't want to do this at first. But it was something that a colleague of mine at our Dallas sister station, Pete Delkus at WFAA, said, if we've got the data, if we've got the forecast, why not give it to them? So that's the same principle behind doing a 3-month outlook, which that's why I don't have an answer to your question, because I just haven't looked at it. But the 14-day, we models go out 2 weeks. And so we can give you an idea of what the models are trending and showing 2 weeks from now. It's very, changeable. A lot can change in the next couple of days for next Monday the 23rd, for sure. But right now, we could be an isolated shower on a day. Anyway. Oh, it was great, Luis. Thank you so much. I was so honored to talk to Judge Wolf. Never have the bio and the man's public service to this community is unmatched. Unmatched. What a phenomenal man. And writing 3 books right now, simultaneously. He says, sometimes I write about on this one, and he didn't say which one, what they were about, nonfiction, but his latest, Power Principles, is his 9th. And so we were discussing that book, discussing the growth of San Antonio and sports. Are we ever going to get Major League? Well, the biggest problem for us is getting corporate headquarters. We just don't have enough of the corporate giants here. And Major League Sports is a corporate game, period. You can have the fan base all you want. And we've got that for football, we've got it for baseball, but we don't have the corporations, and that's what we need, corporate headquarters. And he said, one of the things that was interesting that he told us is that San Antonio has still really not recovered from AT&T leaving. I'll never forget that day. Thank you, Sheila. I love him. Jenny Ragan. That's so cool. So Jenny and Lee, some family, a little reunion tonight. Big give September 18th, 6 to September 19th, 6p. Wednesday to Thursday. Can I give you all one that I love? Kinetic Kids. Give to Kinetic Kids. Go to kinetickidstx.org. Phenomenal group. They help children from autistic to cerebral palsy to Down syndrome. They literally have thousands of kids plugged into more than 40 sports, fine arts, all kinds of great programs all across San Antonio. Competitive. I'm talking about dance, skiing, swim, arts and crafts. It's incredible. Kinetic Kids, both with K. Reminder for this live thing on weekdays. Oh, awesome. That's why you're always here? I love it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. 9:34 already. Got to get ready for the TEN, Ken's 5 News at 10. Coming your way in 26 minutes. Love you all. God bless you, and have an awesome Thursday.